That's for 5 minutes.
Secretary Yellen, thanks for being here today. As we approach the debt ceiling, the Treasury delayed issuing new U.S. Treasuries. Now that the debt ceiling has been increased, there's significant discussion that the Treasury may issue hundreds of billions, maybe $1 trillion of new Treasuries, in particular in short order. Do you hold the concern that others do that this may alter the interest rates the United States would receive on the issuance of those Treasuries? And if so, what mitigating measures are you and the Treasury taking to avoid additional costs on interest rates?
So it is our obligation to rebuild the Treasury balance up to a safe and appropriate level. But we've consulted widely with market participants about what the best way is to do that to minimize the cost to the federal government and to avoid market disruption to the maximum extent possible. And as we build our balance, we will certainly be careful to see if there are impacts or market disruption.
And what are those techniques and measures you're planning to implement to reduce volatility or increased interest rates?
Well, we will be issuing a substantial quantity of Treasury bills and cash management bills in the coming months, and we'll try to design those offerings to really be most attractive to market participants.
Thank you. I'm still really disappointed that the administration refused to negotiate with House Republicans for as long as they did, forcing the Treasury into this position rather than settling the debt ceiling debate much sooner, which we could have done if the president didn't move forward on his path of my way or the highway, refusing to negotiate with Republicans in the House. Let me shift gears if I can. I want to dive in on the Russia-Iran alliance that we're seeing taking place. Russia and Iran have established a defense partnership. Iran supplying weapons to Russia, reportedly potentially developing a drone facility inside Russia. And this has implications beyond Ukraine. It has significant implications across Europe and throughout the Middle East. Could you outline some of the steps Treasury has taken in response to this defense partnership? And do you believe that the measures have been effective?
Well, we are certainly attempting to make sure that our sanctions on Russia when it comes to acquiring military equipment are not evaded, and we are looking very carefully at ways in which evasion is taking place and attempting to address it jointly with our partners.
But should anything be done specifically regarding the Iran piece of this puzzle that has not been done to date? Or do you feel that the sanctions in place on Iran and working with our partners are currently sufficient?
We're constantly looking and reevaluating our sanctions, especially when we see evasion we have the strongest regime of sanctions against Iran is against virtually any country, and we're constantly looking to strengthen them. It's not something that's forever fixed, where when we see evasion, we are looking to strengthen them.
Understood. A very dynamic environment, not a static environment. Appreciate your attention to the matter.
Yes.
Let me shift gears pretty significantly here. We've seen the European Union aggressively push regulatory standards beyond their boundaries, impacting U.S. capital markets and U.S.-based companies. I'm concerned if we fail to push back, American businesses will find themselves subject to European regulation. Are there EU regulations that this administration is planning to adopt or mirror? And have you determined separately that these regulations coming from the EU are in the best interest of the United States?
We're looking very carefully at the EU's Corporate Sustainability Directive, and we are concerned about the impact that it could have on U.S. firms. We're consulting with the EU and making clear that we are concerned about the directive's extraterritorial scope.
Yeah, I think we should be incredibly concerned. The U.S. has about 4% of the world's population, but about 50% of the capital markets reside in the United States. I'm concerned that the European approach to regulation actually negatively impacts their ability to be a leader in the capital markets. Recognizing my time, I yield back.